guys, welcome back to my channel, and shout out to the TUB fam. Love you guys, and to you new subbies, what up? I'm crazy. Anyway, so if you haven't checked my Instagram, I was honored to be a keynote speaker a few weeks back for a success panel down in New Jersey. Now it was such a great experience for me because it was in my hometown, so I saw a lot of people that I grew up with, a lot of family, friends, all that good stuff, and it was just great to be home and speak before people. Like, it was such an honor. And since you guys, majority of you guys don't live in the New York metropolitan area, I want to share with you guys a little bit of what I shared with them in hopes that it would kind of encourage you or inspire you or motivate you or kind of shift your perspective on how you see success. What we basically talked about was our experiences, but also what we define success as and what is success as a millennial. And so I broke it down. I started off talking about the definition from Google. And let me read that for you. Google, the most reliable source in the world, defines success as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose, the attainment of popularity or profit. So I kind of delved into the differences or the generational gap between what the more seasoned, older generation sees as success and what we as millennials see as success. The more seasoned generation, they might see success as money, cars, family, white picket fence, big house, whatever materialized things. But we as millennials kind of see it differently because we're such a visual generation and we are such a social media driven generation. We see success as the amount of followers we have, the amount of views we have on videos, the number of comments. I venture to say the blue verification check on Instagram and Twitter, because when we see those things, we're like, wow, they're valid. Like, we'll follow them just because they have a blue verification check most of the time. And if we attain that, we're like, yo, we popping in these streets, I got a blue check. Then at the end of the day, those things are fleeting and can change at any point in time. And I feel like when I was telling them, I feel like success is unique to you. It is just like your purpose. Like, nobody else has the same purpose that you have. You were put here on purpose for a purpose, and like nobody can do what you're put here to do, and it's such a beautiful thing, right? And then in the conversation, I started to kind of delve into my own story, my personal story. And so I'll share with you guys a little bit, not the whole thing because it would take a very long time and I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me ramble. I had a very, very decorated high school career. I was a 1,000-point scorer, like the first person to do it since 1988, back in, 2010 and stuff. I scored over 1,000 points. I think I had about 1245? Yeah, 1,245 points. I was athlete of the week, which is very big in my town because we have this local newspaper called The Record, and so it's really big, like, for you to become athlete of the week. It was really dope. They like drew my picture and like it was put into a plaque, and I was put in like almost like a Hall of Fame kind of thing. I was Madison Square Garden varsity tri-state player of the week, which was an extreme honor. I ended up getting an athletic and an academic scholarship to Iona College, which was super dope. And everything was just going. Anybody who would look at my high school career would say it was completely successful, like 100% successful. So in college, it was a little bit different because in college, that's where I learned that success is not accolade driven. So my freshman year of college, I started off redshirting. And when you redshirt, you have an extra year eligibility for those who are not athletes who are watching this video. And so I started off, so I didn't play, and so I would still practice and stuff like that. We weren't really doing that well, and I was surprised at myself. I was playing really well. I was like lights out, and I ended up coming out of my red shirt. It was like my dream had come true. I was a freshman. I was playing Division I basketball at a very high level. Like, it was just kind of like, wow, this is like amazing. Towards the end of my freshman year, I started getting a little bit of knee pain, and the trainers, chalked it up to me just having tendonitis, whatever, jumper's knee. So I got, little braces and stuff to put on my knee, and I was good. And after that, I ended up getting a shot in my knee. I think it was called a piece. I don't remember what the shot was called. It wasn't cortisone. It was some type of shot that I got in my knee to avoid surgery at all costs because I did not want surgery. So I got a shot in my knee to see if that would help in any way, shape, or form, and it really didn't help me at all. So I played all of my sophomore season hurt Like, I was hurting every game, and it was painful. It was excruciating pain, and I would still be in the weight room, still trying to lift and do all this stuff to try to strengthen it, and like, it just still hurt. And then the end of my sophomore year, that summer, I think it was around 2012. Yeah, that summer, I ended up getting knee surgery. And the doctor said that it was just a scope. So they were going to go in and scrape some stuff out, and then I would have been good. But when they went in there, they saw that I had partially torn my patella tendon, which I had no idea had happened because it must have happened like gradually. So then they had to, you know, repair that. And they said that my recovery process would be, I think, like 8 to 10 weeks. Maybe something like that. And so like, I was working hard, I had to do physical therapy, all this good stuff, and my body wasn't cooperating, and like, my quad would not like retain the strength, like it wouldn't at all. So I ended up having to redshirt that year. So towards the end of my junior year, I started feeling better, like I was getting more mobility, like it was literally like I was getting back to who I felt like I was as a basketball player. And just as that was happening, there was another change. So my coach who had recruited me, they had got another job, and then that meant that there was another coach that was going to come and replace him. Anybody who knows athletics knows that a coach usually has a particular culture or a system that they have set in place for everybody to kind of function under. And so when you switch coaches, cultures also switch, and systems also switch. So that was an adjustment as well. And so this is my senior year. I'm ready. I was sitting, and like I have all this pent up stuff that I want to help and contribute to the team, and I'm working hard, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And like I said, there is a culture shift. So there was a different culture and a different system that this new coach brought, and it kind of just changed how everything was. And as hard as I worked, as much as I did, as many individuals as I did, all those different things, nothing changed. And with me being healthy now, I sat, which was another change for me, because I'm like, okay, so now I am healthy. Now I can run, I can jump, I can move. I worked my butt off to get to this point because my quad wasn't cooperating. Like, I'm back, I'm ready to help, I'm ready to contribute. And the cards I was dealt wasn't in my favor. I didn't play. Played when we were up by 20 with 2 minutes left, or down by 20 with 2 minutes left. And that was complete change for me, because like I said, in high school I was used to playing. I did this, I did that, I led the team, I was a captain, whatever. And now, like, I'm recovering from an injury, and now I sit. So it was just a lot of, even mentally, the things that I was going through was crazy. So I ended up graduating, and I transferred, and I went to this other school that this coach had recruited me to go to. And it was starting off real good. Like, it was going very well. And the thing about this school is they have a fitness test to where you have to run a mile in 6 minutes and 30 seconds. And if anybody knows me, I don't like to run. I like to eat. Like, I don't like to run, which is part of the reason why I didn't play soccer or do track. Like, I just don't like to run. But I had a trainer, shout out to Randy, he got me right, and I made that mile in 6:30. Like, I made it. When I went down there and I went to school, I made the mile time. I was playing hard in practice, I was doing this, I was doing that, and this is me also adjusting to another culture system, or a culture shift, because, you know, things were going good, I was playing really well, I was shooting lights out, it was crazy. I played first few games. I actually started one game too. That was my first time ever starting a Division I game. We played against Kansas State. It was dope. It was like 3,000 people in there. Like, the lights were big. It was like a dream. Anybody's dream who's an athlete or a basketball player at that. It was just a dream. And I started that game. It was dope. I scored. Whatever. It was lit. And then as the season continued to go on, things changed once again, and I sat. And I sat my senior night as well. With those 3 years, I had dealt with so many things mentally where it was just kind of like, I viewed my college career as a failure. I believed that I failed. Like, I failed. Like, I didn't play. I only started one game in my whole college career. I played Division I basketball for 5 years. I transferred schools. I did this, I did that, and I did not play. Did not play. And it wasn't until about maybe a month ago, a few weeks ago, where I had a different perspective, and my perspective shifted. And I started to like think about all the things that had happened, all the things that I had been through, and I was like, you know what? I was successful. I was successful because I learned how to walk again. I learned how to run again. I learned how to jump again. I learned how to bend my knee. I learned how to do so many things that at that time didn't seem possible because my body wasn't cooperating. That's something that was out of my control. But I did it. Like, I was able to recover from an injury and go back and be able to play, not necessarily having the opportunity to play, but I was at that level where I could have. And that is success, because success is not materialistically based, it's not accolade based, but success is unique to you. So in that season of my life in college, my success wasn't necessarily accolade based. It was goal driven. It was, I was able to restore to where I was before I even got injured. That just kind of plays into what I've been saying this whole time, that your success is unique to you. You cannot allow somebody else's view of success or somebody else's view of you define what you see as success. Because by doing that, you allow somebody else's mind and vision for you to limit you. You can't function like that. You can't function. Another point that I want to make is that success is also knowing your why. Because when you know your why, you feel such a sense of fulfillment that nothing could replace. Nothing else can give you that sense of fulfillment as to why you were put here on this earth. It brings such a peace, a solace, but also a drive that you got to keep going, that you got to keep pushing. I would even venture to say that if all of that stuff never happened to me, I may not be sitting in front of this camera right now sharing my story in hopes that my story can help some of you guys. So scoring 1,000 points was not my why. Being all of these players of the week was not my why. Getting a Division I athletic and academic scholarship was not my why. Sitting the bench was not my why. Getting hurt was not my why. But those were all vehicles to help shape me and to lead me into what my why actually is. A lot of the things in our lives come to shape and to mold us and to push us in the direction in which we're put here to go. And I feel so much fulfillment sitting in front of this camera right now, sharing with you guys my experiences in hopes that it'll give you hope, in hopes that it'll let you know that everything that you see as failure or somebody deems as failure is not failure. It's not failure at all. I feel like you attain true success by knowing your why and living your why out. Like, that's the most fulfillment that you can ever get in life. When you have that moment where it's just like, this is what I was put here to do. Like, this is it. This is it. It's just like something comes over you and you're just like, let's do this. Alright guys, so that's kind of what I went over at the success panel that I just spoke at. I hope it encouraged you. I hope it helped you. I hope it inspired you. I hope it shifted your perspective. I hope it did all that stuff. Thank you for coming by my channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye guys.